Are you interested in developing a growth mindset so you can become a more effective teacher and then help your students grow? Has your district put you in different personal developments to be able to help you grow your mind and be able to grow your mindset as a result so then you can become a more effective teacher? And if so, what are some tools that they've given you? And if you're like me, I've been to many personal development within my district and they've always told me what to do, but they never showed me how to do it. In this video, I want to distinguish between the growth mindset and the fixed mindset to help you understand the difference and cultivate a growth mindset so it can help you become a more effective teacher. And then the better you are, the better your students become as a result. So welcome back to The Heart Work, where we help teachers develop their mindset, tool set, and skill set. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the growth mindset. And this is always very important to always be growing because your body is always doing something. It's always going to be growing. Is it going to be dying? And it's relatively not going to be staying the same. Okay, your body is like a heartbeat, just like the stocks in life. It's either going to go up, down, and it's going to go sideways. But even when it's going sideways, it's still going up and down a little bit. Okay, so that sideways is you finding balance, and then when it's going up, you're focusing on the things that are growing your life, and then when it's going down, it's taken away from your life. And just like in the stock market, there's going to be new heights and there's going to be lower lows. So when you have a growth mindset, you are consistently expanding. It may be a little change or it may be an exponential growth change, but you're always moving into the positive direction. Well, not always, because sometimes in life there's going to be downs, but then from those downs, you're able to learn from those experiences. You're able to learn from those experiences and gain wisdom, because wisdom is only learning from your past results as a result of reflecting. And if you don't reflect and you just continue going about life, you can become a fool, because a fool doesn't learn from their past. They just go through life expecting whatever they expect, because I don't know how fools think, so I can't even put myself in that mindset because I'm always consistently learning and growing. And there's different tools that you can also use to be able to grow your mindset as well. One of the best ways that you can grow your mindset is utilizing books, because books have different perspectives from different people who have been successful in life or have been through something and have came back to be able to share their experiences. And the book that I'm reading right now is called Thinking in Bets by Annie Dukes. And in this book, it talks about how people make decisions and how not to make bad decisions, or just to have a better understanding of how to make decisions so you can be a better decision maker. And one of the biggest things that I took away from the book is that make it a bet. Say bet. Okay? Because when you're a child, when you made it a bet, it became serious, and then you started to make better decisions because you put money on it. So treat every decision like a bet, like it's actually worth something. And in doing so, you're going to be treating it like a poker game, because in poker, there's a series of events that continuously go on, and you have your information, but then you do not have other people's information. Like, you don't know what cards they have. So you're going to make a decision, but you don't necessarily know all of the aspects of what's going on. So what you do is, over time, you learn different patterns, different sequences, and the different percentages that go into making a better decision. And when you do so, nothing's 100%. Like, an ace king is not guaranteed to win, because if you have an ace king, you may not have the 10 jack or queen to go alongside with the jack and ace to make a straight or a royal flush. However, somebody that has two eights may be more likely to win because they may be able to pick up an 8 on the river. So it's all about just sequencing your decisions and putting them in percentages or probabilities of what can actually happen, so then you can make a better decision before you go into that final bet. And when you make it a bet, you see what could possibly happen, what could go wrong, and you plan accordingly. And this is like anything in life. There's like a decision tree. When you make one decision, this one decision is going to take you down a route, because you cannot come back after you make a decision. Because when you decide, you cut off everything else that you can possibly do and choose that one thing. And when you make better decisions, you're going to increase your mindset, which is one of the three tools that you're going to need. So the three tools that you have your mindset, tool set, and your skill set. And your mindset is one of those things that's going to catapult you to the next level exponentially. Whereas your tool set is going to do it incrementally. Your skill set it can possibly double or triple. So after the video, I thought about something, and it's how you can utilize your mindset, skill set, and tool set. Because your mindset is going to create your skill set is going to create your tool set. And when you're able to use all three of these things, that's when you're going to be able to have that exponential growth. But you never have that exponential growth if you never change your mindset. Because if you don't change your mindset, you'll never be able to increase your skill set. And the skills are the different things that you're going to be able to use and utilize in order to become a better person. You know, it's all about the knowledge that you gain along the way. And then when you have the knowledge, you then know what to do what to use in order to turn your dream into a reality. See, because it starts off in the mind, it then ends up in your hands. So when it starts off in the mind, that's your mindset. What are you going to do? And then you need a skill set. How are you going to do it? And then you need something in order to make your dream become a reality, so that you could turn your thoughts into things. So you see it first in your mind, but then second in your hands. And that's how you turn your dreams into a reality. Are you tired of being tired, of not having enough energy to last you throughout the day? Are you worn out at work, too drained to go to the gym, or too sluggish to play with your kids, and too tired to hang out with your friends and your family? Don't worry, you're not the only one. In fact, 1 in 3 Americans struggle with having enough energy to last throughout the day. But there's good news, because you can change all that by focusing on your gut health. Did you know that your gut has good and bad microbiomes that grow inside of it? And the more that you feed the good, the healthier and livelier that you feel. When you feed the bad ones over time, you start to feel bad, then sad, and it turns into a fad that you feel like you can't escape. And it becomes your personality, aka your personal reality, and you feel like you cannot escape it, and you accept life as it is, and that it won't change. But that's where you're wrong. You just have to be able to shift your focus. See, most people fall into the trap of the SAD diet, or the standard American diet, which focuses on fast food, which is cheap and high in calories, rather than nature's fast food, which are fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, and legumes that help nourish your body so that you can flourish. It's also no mistake that 90% of Americans do not eat enough fruits and vegetables according to the daily recommendations, and that's only 5 servings a day. What if I told you you can have the equivalent of 6 superfood salads all in one that's all natural, organic, whole foods? Yes, natural, organic, whole foods. And you can make and consume it in under a minute, and it only costs $4 a day. So there's no excuse that you need to shop, chop, and cook your foods because it's delivered at your front door. If this sounds good to you, check the description down below and schedule a 15-minute complimentary call so you can see how this can be able to fit into your lifestyle. So you can change your personal reality and increase your energy, mood, digestion, sleep, and skin, all by focusing on your gut health, which is the cause to all your symptoms. Don't believe me? Just Google gut health blank and you'll find plenty of research articles that find a connection. Back to the video. So what's a tool set? A tool set are different things that you can use. These are things that are outside of you that are used for a purpose. So if you're doing a lesson, you'll need a board or a Promethean board. You'll need the marker in order to mark on the board, and you need to have like the different websites that you can use. The skill sets are the different skills that you have within you, so then you can better make use of those tools. So a skill set that you would have would be understanding your depth of your profession. Like I am a PE teacher, so I would know the different websites to be able to go to better help my students after school, like GoNoodle or in the classroom with GoNoodle. And even I created a YouTube channel that I can help my students virtually when I was teaching virtually during the pandemic. And I used the skills that I had of knowing how to edit, knowing how to exercise, and I combined those two things. And I used the tool of the internet, my MacBook, and software editing that I use, which is iMovie. And I utilized all those skills, and I was able to put them out. But it would be nothing if I didn't have a mindset. And your mindset is the way that you think about things. Again, your mindset is the way that you think about things. It's your perspective. It's what can I do in this situation? It's talking to your future self and saying, okay, once I get to this situation, what can I do differently? Well, what can I do to actually get to this position? And going back to Amy Dukes, it's all about thinking in bets. You make a decision, you put money on it, and then you implement your actions in order to get to it. So when I was teaching during the pandemic, I was like, how can I be a more effective teacher? I'm already pretty much doing the same thing every single day anyway with the students. How can I be more engaging? How can I give these students tools to where that if they're not in PE on the 1 day a week, they can have a resource to be able to go back to, so then they can continue their learning to be able to help them out in the long run. And one of the best ways that I've done that was by creating my vCoaching page with 3 E's. And it was one of the greatest things that I could have ever done, because I could just go through the warm-up activities. They would see me, and they would actually see my coworker, Coach White, all the time, because we actually went back to school and we created this warm-up video. And now he even uses that video to this day. So that's just how you can use your mindset to be able to exponentially grow. And then you do it one time, but it can consistently be seen all over the world, day after day, and you don't have to be there. So you do it once, but then it continues to show up into the future. And these are the things that's going to help you grow to the next level. However, if you have a poor mindset, this can exponentially hinder your growth. So it can square it, it can half it, it can just take it all the way down. Because if you don't have the right mindset, even if you see an opportunity, you're going to see it as a threat, and you're not going to want to do it because you don't like change. And the only thing constant in life is change. So get used to it, because as an educator, we want our students to be able to change and grow. So we should have that same mindset within us, so then we can change and grow and become a better teacher as a result. Now, you're a day one teacher. If you're a day one teacher, there's different things that you've experienced growing up that you can utilize for your benefit that teachers that have been teaching for the past 20 years may not, such as technology. So even though you have less experience, you have more experience in other ways. Again, just because you have less teaching experience doesn't mean that you have less life experience, because you have more experience with the current generation. So you may be on TikTok, you may see different trends, you may be more hip to what's going on, so you can have a better personal connection with your students. Whereas somebody that's 20 years into the game, they have a less connection with their students because they don't know exactly what's going on with them. Even though they may have kids their age, or sometimes they're going to have kids that are 18 or 20 that are grown, and they may have grandchildren. They're not connecting with those kids at the same level, but they do have an understanding of how human behavior works at a deeper level. But you can utilize the skills that you know to be able to implement that into your classroom, to be able to make it a more connective and more engaging environment that they may not be able to have. So you can get the tool sets from them, but then you want to maximize that tool set with your skill set, because you're applying it to your life. And because you're applying it to your life, you're going to use your mindset in order to make that shift, in order to see what makes sense for you, because what they do may not work for you, because you're a completely different person. And this is all about having that social emotional intelligence that you would like to be able to instill into your kids. And the more that your kids are seeing you grow and change and adapting to the different situations that are going on, because they're going to happen. Like, I've never gone through a class presentation. I promise you I haven't. And it's going exactly the way that I expected it to go. Usually there's going to be a child that I didn't expect to show up and shine. And there's going to be a child that I expected to, go over and beyond. They may be having a bad day that day. So their performance was a little hindrance. But then there's some consistent people in the classroom that I know are going to show up, and then they just didn't show up as much as I would like to, but then somebody else did. So life is your classroom and your students are going to even you out. There's going to be somebody that's going over and above. There's somebody that's going to be slightly going under. But at the end of the day, they're going to reflect the teacher. Day in and day out, they're going to reflect you. So it's all about your growth mindset. It's all about giving your best effort and taking it into the classroom, so then they can perform better. So then if they perform better, you will perform better as a result, because it's just going to go around in a circle. And once they see that you're showing up and you're passionate about your job and you're and you're growing and you're learning and you're instilling that into your children, it may not show up in the next month. It may not show up in the next 2 months or the first semester like it did when I was reading a lot of books over the past 2 years. It really showed up for me personally after spring break when one of the students said that I'm always so positive. And that was like one of the biggest compliments that I could have been able, that I had the entire year, because that was something that I was working on. And one of the things that I did to bring that into fruition was that I did a meditation and I just let it go. So with the meditation I did, it was with Jose Silva. The Mind Control Method is the name of the book. And he will teach you how to go through the stages of meditation. And I think that's a very good book to be able to go back and read. So next week, what I'm going to do a breakdown of that book. And basically, what the meditation did is that you think about the results in mind. So you think about the positive outcomes that you're going to have, but then you also think about the steps that it needs to happen in order for it to happen. So one of the things that I did was that I just did meditation, and I thought of my students growing and having a positive mindset as a result of me teaching. And I just thought about, the positive behaviors that they were having, and they would take a second and think about what they were doing, and then they would act and perform in a better way. And then for myself personally, to be able to receive that compliment of being the most positive teacher, I just thought about the different situations that I have been in. And just me talking, future casting, is that I put myself in a situation that I may be in, and I responded in that moment in a positive way. And I thought about how I would feel during that. And Feeling is the Secret by Naval Gardner. I forgot his name. It will come back to me. It's one of the greatest things that you can ever say. Never say that you forget, but say that it will always come back to me. And I know his last name is Goddard. Neville Goddard is his name. Neville. I'm gonna put it down here. Goddard. Goddard. And if I spelled that wrong, it's gonna be spelled right down here. So don't worry about it. So Neville Goddard is one of the greatest philosophers, meditationers that I've ever came across, and he ties it into biblical principles as well. So those are two books that you can definitely read to see how you can future cast your results. And the Mind Control Method is a way that you can help to use your mind through meditation. So, and meditation to me means awareness. Because when you meditate, you're aware of situations that may happen, and you're creating the outcome that you desire. Because anything that happens in the future, you're creating a story. And you have to be leaving, you have to be lying so you can believe the truth. Okay? So when you be telling yourself stuff, you actually be lying. So if it's good or bad, I need to drive safe so I don't get into an accident. The accident isn't real. It hasn't happened, and it hasn't not happened. However, you're telling yourself that you have to do this in order for this and that to happen. You're telling your story, and the story you tell is the one that prevails. So you have to tell yourself better stories. So this is why I highly recommend reading the book, The Mind Control Method, so you can better utilize your mind, which is that one thing that you're constantly using. You actually use more energy when you're thinking than in any activity, because your brain uses a lot of energy. It uses 80% of your body's energy. And you got to think about it. Thinking is the hardest work that nobody does. It's easy to go out and get, a job at UPS, delivering mail, or packages, but it's harder to become the manager. And as a result, you get paid differently. When you're just doing the work with your hands, with the tool sets that they give you, it's very easy for you to go out and accomplish because they've already set you up for success. But it's hard to be the person that sets other people up for success by giving them different SOPs, standard operating procedures, and being able to document that. But when you do that, you're able to disperse that information out to multiple people. So then it exponentially increases your work, or it multiplies your work that you're able to do. But then in order to have that mindset to be able to get to that level, that's going to exponentially increase your work performance, because now you're able to help millions of people do a task that you were able to do as a result of changing your mindset, using the different skill sets that you have, and integrating different things that you're able to utilize. Like how I was able to create the YouTube channel, and I was able to utilize my skills of interpersonal skills with getting with my coworker, time management, and then being a PE teacher, knowing the specific exercises that we needed to hit in order to do. And then I also used technology. So I had to be able to film and record. And then I also had to edit, and I had to be aware of how to upload. So as many skills that I integrated together, but it was only being able to integrate together because I had the right mindset. And once I found the right tool, which is technology and all the different things that I was saying, I was then able to harness that power and create a video. And if you're interested in that video that I've been talking about, I'm going to drop the link down below. So go ahead and do that and watch along and see the different things that I did, because I really did a lot of work. I really did too much work, but it's okay because it was my first one and I wanted to make it really special and just something that we constantly do. And as a result, I was able to get over 2,000 views in this video. At least it should be at 2,000 views. And if it's at this point of the upload, it will be, because it's going to come. To learn more information about Purium and the family of products, check out the description down below to set up a 15-minute complimentary call. And you can also check out the website. You're just one click away for a better life. Your health is too important to continue to push it off. Go ahead and check out the website and see if a product fits you. All right. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in and never tapping out. We have been discussing the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. And just to give a brief overview of the fixed mindset just wants to stay the same. It's that teacher that's been doing the same thing since day one, or since, 2 years ago, and there's no growth. They're doing the same thing this year that they did last year and going back. So it's the same lesson plan. They haven't changed the way that they teach to the students. They just expect the students to be the same. And as a result, that's what they're going to get. They're going to get the same students as a result, because they don't have the growth mindset within them. They cannot give that growth mindset to their students. So do you want to be fixed, or do you want to have a growth mindset? Because as teachers, we always want our students to be learning and growing, so we can hit those different AMOs, so then we can be able to enhance our performance as a teacher. And just one thing about the AMOs and hitting your goals and growing your students, it's not always a reflection of you as a teacher. You may be doing the best that you can be doing. And just going back to the concept and thinking of bets, you may have the ace and king. However, you don't know what's going on at home. You don't know what's the cards that the kids are being dealt with. And no matter how good that your hand is, if they're not able to use the cards in their hand and be able to use them to their advantage, they can never win. So it's all about just understanding the different things that you're putting in and the things that are outside of you. And in the book, Thinking in Bets, Amy Book called those things that are outside of you luck. So those extraneous variables that you have no control over are luck, like the cards that other people are dealt. But you play to the best of your possibility. And even if you win, lose, or draw, you're going to be able to know that you made the best decision in that moment. So it's like that old country song. You got to know when to hold 'em. You got to know when to fold 'em. You got to know when to walk away. And you got to know when to run. When you make these better decisions, you know which one is going to be best for you in the situation. All right. So I appreciate you for tapping in. If you enjoyed this video, go and leave information on what you found to be the most informative information that you took away from this video. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. And if you enjoyed those 2 book recommendations, the Mind Control Method by Jose Silva, and then Thinking in Bets by Amy Dukes. You should also check out Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. That's been the number 1 book that's really been able to change my mindset from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, because it gives you the information to be able to better understand how your brain actually works. So then you can make better, more informed, positive decisions. so you can live the story that you want to live. Because again, the story you tell is the one that prevails. This one helps you be able to change that and be able to put that into your lifestyle with a meditation routine. However, I personally enjoy the meditation routine from Jose Silva's book more so than I did from Dr. Joe Dispenza. And it's something that you can do at anywhere that you are, and it's very simple to go through it. You just have to go through the process over the course of, it's about like 2 weeks that it takes for you to really fully get into it, versus Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, where it takes you like 5 weeks of doing the meditations. But it's very enjoyable, and it goes into very details, and it starts off 30 minutes, and then it goes upwards to an hour. So try both. That's what I did, and see which one works best for you. And if you're able to do the one that Dr. Joe Dispenza utilizes, there's different YouTube videos that you can use to be able to hear the voice throughout the meditation. And that's why I like the Jose Silva's, the mind control method, better, because you're using your own mind in order to utilize it. Even though you could do a voice recorder and do everything that Dr. Joe Dispenza was saying to do, I just found it was easier to do the Jose Silva's methods. All right. So as always, you all stay infinitely fit and infinitely blessed, and like, share, and subscribe. The mindset is how you're going to do things. So your mindset gives you the ability to figure out how you're going to do things. Your skill set gives you to what are you going to do in order to execute. And then the skills, and then the tool set are the things that you're going to use in order to be able to bring those dreams into a reality. And your dreams are things that you just see in your mind's eye. And then when you use your tool set, you're going to bring it into reality. So you first have to think it, and then you have to be able to harness the skills. And then once you harness the skills, you're going to be able to create everything that you want to create.